morning.
Good morning, afternoon.
I know. I was going to say I lied. I usually say good morning, but it is
That's
afternoon.
okay, technically.
And I'm here with Jody.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Guess why I've brought Jody here today? You know, they don't know.
They don't know nothing.
It's a St. Patty's Day because my friend has been to Ireland.
Yes.
I pronounced it Ireland.
Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
It's over there.
Just
somewhere.
like it's spelled. Ireland.
Ireland.
Okay. We won't go on to how to pronounce Wednesday or Worcestershire.
Oh, God.
So we picked some Irish movies. And I was pretty happy with our choices until we couldn't find them on streaming.
Yeah.
So Janine Garofalo and Matchmaker had to go by the wayside.
Yep. That's okay.
But
I'm sure it wasn't authentic.
These were completely authentic.
Oh, totally. Completely,
so
100%.
authentic. Well, the first
one of
one
them
was. Right.
Oh, I watched the other one first, I think.
I watched the Irish Pub first.
Okay. I watched it. I'd seen it before, so I just watched
it
too.
And I bet you I called you after I watched it.
Could be.
Probably. And it would have been years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's been out a while.
Very cute if you like old people and Irish people and old people.
And an occasional musical instrument.
Very cool, though. So when you were in Ireland, you had the pub experience.
Yeah.
Was it like these pubs?
Some were. Some of them were more gritty.
Okay.
Those were kind of fun. You got some pretty not raucous, but you got some pretty kicking music in the kind of grittier pubs. But
that I wrote in my notes because I was like, so it seemed to be that those pubs there wasn't any house music. It was just
no, there's no music
talking and
not in those kinds of places. No, not until
somebody stands up and starts to sing,
or they just start kind of wandering in and they just start playing, and maybe most of them have played together, but it's kind of a whoever's there kind of thing.
I think, and you and I both know so many musicians. And the like, if you will. So that's happened to us more than once.
Yeah.
Where people just strike it up. Are you staring at my new cat?
I'm staring at, well, he was doing some weird stuff and it was cute. So
not surprised.
There's another guest host, but he's pretty quiet.
Yeah. We'll call him Ned.
Uh-huh.
He's a good boy. So what about the Snug? Did you,
we saw some, like I saw a couple of them. One of them had, I remember, just had a bunch of junk in it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they threw stuff in there. I never sat in one.
Can you describe what
it's just like it's like a booth. It's like an enclosed booth, sort of.
So weird.
But a lot of them are intricate and they're carved and stuff. And the Snug is where they would do the matchmaking.
That's so weird.
And you'd meet with like the town matchmaker, and they'd do whatever they do. And
does that go along with the Janine Garofalo movie that we were going to?
So I don't remember. I know I've seen it, but I can't remember the details.
So similar to like, I really only thought of arranged marriages, you know, in like India or whatever.
Right.
But apparently
it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Yeah. I think they're a little more relaxed about it, or they were. I mean, they don't do it anymore that I know of. Maybe they do.
Or kind of just like a dowry exchange. You know, hey, how about take my daughter and I'll give you a sheep?
No, I've already got sheep. Give me some.
I'll take some of that Kerrygold butter.
Oh, yeah, it's getting expensive, dude.
And a potato. So yeah, that was the more authentic Irish. But the gist of it is that they're dying out, the pubs.
I think the more authentic ones, you know, times change all over, but you go to Dublin and you get the dance, you know, more like dance party bars or whatever.
Okay.
And you get a bunch of those, but you go to a small town and the only thing might be a pub or two, and they might have rooms above that you can rent to stay and stuff like that. So I don't know. There seemed to be plenty when we were there, but that was 20 years ago.
It does seem like something that older folks would like more than younger folks. And I don't know why that is.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Depends where it is. But yeah, the younger ones like the towns that had the more club atmosphere.
Sure.
But there were still little pubs in those places. Oh, sorry. Can he have the treats that are in my pocket from the vet's office yesterday?
Heck yeah.
Well, there might only be
He'll
one.
start talking to you after that. He just is a beggar.
He found them. Oh, there's only one. Sorry, the other one got left somehow. Okay. Sorry.
So, when you were in Ireland,
yes,
did you do the Guinness? Do they do it warm?
It's like room temperature.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
gross. I remember one person
unpleasant.
It's not. But one person when I worked at the Irishy bar in our town used to ask for it to be microwaved.
Oh, gross.
Just for a little bit, 10, 15 seconds, I think, just to take the chill off of it, because we did have it in the tap. And, we're constantly told that was wrong. Poor form for the Guinness. But anywho, the atmosphere where it's so much stuff hanging from everywhere. Yeah. I think that's just, I get it. If you're a tourist, you're going to want to just look around at everything.
Right. And people bring things in, and some of them, like one of them had been in business for 230 years at the time. And, people bring stuff, or that's stuff from 5 owners ago, and who knows who owned it, So,
yeah. And if you're
there's
a local,
lot of stuff.
You're like, oh, well, that was my boot up there.
Yeah.
And my cousin. Oh.
Or you go to the pub that's got the pub on one side, and then there's a little, almost looks like a concession stand, but it's farm implements.
Okay.
And stuff. And they almost all have food behind the canned food and stuff you can buy to take home.
Yes.
And then pub food is actually really good. It's toasted sandwiches. Stuff like that. Or it was. Some of them are getting fancier, and I don't think that's necessary at all.
I pretty much always need some food when I'm pubbing.
When you're pubbing?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're in luck.
It's definitely someplace that I want to go. So that was a good movie. I highly recommend
it's a little documentary.
Yeah, yeah. But the second movie, I had no idea I was going to go deep diving and yet still have no notes. So we watched Leprechaun from 93.
Yes.
I think there are literally 8 Leprechaun
Were there 8?
movies. Yeah.
I remember watching one in high school, so that would have had to have been 80s. But I just picked when I was looking it up to watch it, I just picked this one, hoping it was the right one. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Jennifer Aniston.
No, 93. That's the first one.
That's the first one. Yeah. I swear I saw something in high school. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible.
Gremlins?
No. It was something with a leprechaun in it. Maybe it wasn't Leprechaun.
This one they said was inspired by Lucky Charms.
Oh my God.
And the movie Critters.
Okay. I've never seen that.
I haven't either. And they looked scary. Urchins.
Ooh.
Urchins coming at you. Anyway, so it was like, oh, here's this mythical little creature. We've never seen that in a horror film. I don't know if you've seen the new thing is there's a Winnie the Pooh.
I've heard of
horror
it
because certain
disturbing looking
certain images that they no longer use of Winnie the Pooh are now public domain. So that's how they can make a horror movie with characters that, they might do the same thing to some early Mickey Mouses, but whatever. No, but how weird. So the idea to do this came from my favorite cereal.
He does eat it in the...
Oh, does he?
In the movie, yeah, he eats it. The leprechaun does. The leprechaun is played by Warwick Davis, the poor man.
I love Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
I love Willow.
It was hard to look at this guy, though.
Yeah.
It was hard to look at it. He was gross.
I literally never watched the movie because of the way it looks. And just seeing that, craggy old creepy mask. I don't like masks in the first place. But, I guess it was 3 hours to put that makeup on.
Oh, it was?
Which doesn't seem that long. With some other,
Yeah.
You remember Planet of the Apes? That was one. But, so I'm sitting here thinking, it's so cheesy. Right off the bat.
It is very cheesy. It seemed, was it really short?
I'm not
Was it a
sure.
short movie? Because I was like, God, this doesn't seem like seems really short. Like it was just over an hour, but I think it was normal. But yeah, so I don't know what I was doing.
It just goes by so fast.
I don't know.
You're having fun.
But yeah, yeah.
So it was Jennifer Aniston's first film.
I wondered about that too.
First feature film.
Yeah, she was like 25 or something.
24.
Looking 24.
She was I happened to come upon that fact this morning. 24, which even while I was watching it, I thought, well, she seems too mature to be a teenager.
Well, then too, I thought I wasn't paying close enough attention for a second. I think the dog was into something. And so my attention was elsewhere. And I look, and the guy at the beginning of the movie with her is her dad. Uh-huh. And I assumed, because I'm used to Jennifer Aniston being in her 50s now, somehow I assumed that was her husband. And I was like, well, this is weird. Who is that guy? And it turns out, like, way later, I figure out it's her dad.
So her dad grabs her and takes her to live with him or stay with him in what the hell was that house?
It was that abandoned house where the leprechaun showed up at the beginning of the movie.
How was he supposed to, how were we supposed to assume that they were going to live there?
Well, they obviously had some means, because she seemed used to some pretty fancy stuff, but
the cobwebs, I mean,
in LA.
It hadn't even been swept out. Like, he didn't live there. Humans didn't live there.
They just bought it, like, and drove there.
And the thing number one they were going to do is paint it red and blue on the outside. No, let's hire these house painters. Job one, not sweep out the gigantic cobwebs or check crates for leprechauns. None of that. I didn't understand that at all. The paint colors.
Yeah, that was
in the first place.
That was a weird thing. And did you see how they were painting?
Yes,
they were leaving white stripes
what?
in between each piece of siding. It was weird.
I wanted to feel, I wanted to, like, stick up for Warwick Davis and be like, that's not fair to put a little person and, make them be a little monster.
But he's an evil sprite.
I believe that he really enjoyed it. He wouldn't have come back for 8 movies. I think actually that he was in all but a couple.
Yeah.
When there was one where he was replaced by somebody. I read that this morning, but he'll do the voice for people.
Yeah.
Which he even said himself is not authentic Irish. It's just lilty.
It wasn't at all Irish at the beginning.
Weird
he was
lilty.
Just normal voice, and then it got more Irish sounding at places.
I can't believe that I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
I actually loved it. I mean, some of it was just the dumb punchlines.
Yeah.
That every time he goes to kill somebody, it's some one-liner.
Yeah. Yep.
Of which I can remember 0.
Yeah, I can't either. I can see it. I can see him doing it. And then, he didn't have his dialogue was something else.
Yeah.
I
wonder, I'm assuming like a lot of those jokes had to be like off the cuff, maybe.
Could have been, for sure.
Yeah.
There wasn't, how do I even, it's like it was so low key that there just didn't seem to be a lot going on. And then there were little storylines that you just kind of never, like, how was her dad? Her dad ended up in the hospital. Okay, well then he's just gone. Right. Never mind him.
Yeah. I wondered why the leprechaun went off killing people, like the police officer who didn't
have anything to do with why he was mad.
He didn't have to pull over.
Well, but the movie, it helped the movie.
So also, what are all those powers that the leprechaun has?
I don't know.
Can move things, can appear and disappear, can, what else?
I don't know. When he lost his hand, it crawled back.
Ew.
His hands were disgusting.
Oh, so gross.
And then, yeah.
Did you see the little tidbit when they're in the hospital and he's chasing after Jennifer Aniston with the wheelchair.
The wheelchair.
Speaking of those, do you remember it?
Kind of.
He's got those big gloves, hands on. Warwick Davis has huge hands anyway.
Okay.
He has very attractive hands.
Not in this movie.
Tell him I said so. He has very large, attractive hands. Smooth, like an actor. But so he's got those huge gloves on with those huge claws.
Yeah.
And I imagine they were probably rubbery.
They looked it.
So he could hardly move the wheels on the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Why he was in a wheelchair in the first place, I'm not sure, because he can run. But Jennifer Aniston, because he couldn't move that chair very fast, she was literally running in slow motion. Can you imagine? What a weird scene. Can you, if I said, okay, Jody, run in slow motion.
Not without laughing.
And then we're just going to speed it up. And you're supposed to look natural. I would look so weird. I'm sure I would overemphasize every little movement.
Did they do that with the wheelchair so that the wheelchair, to introduce it? Because then he's rolling down the road in it really fast.
I have no idea. I think because she was walking up assuming that he was the man that used to live in the house.
Yeah.
And then it was the leprechaun. So I don't know if the man used a wheelchair or what.
I don't know.
Who knows? But that was funky. Yeah. I do want to see Leprechaun in the Hood because it's...
I had no idea.
So, okay, apparently 1, 2, and 3, Leprechaun, Leps 1 through 3 are pretty much this basic concept. Leprechaun gets accidentally let out of a crate.
Yeah.
Wants his gold back, kills people along the way. Lep 4 is also similar, but it takes place in outer space.
Oh, Jesus. Woo-hoo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
And then Lep in the Hood. Apparently there is a sort of struggling rap hip hop group, whatever, and they steal his magic flute, which hypnotizes people.
Okay.
And apparently at the end, the leprechaun raps. So I feel like that's a must.
Oh my God.
Then there's a Back to the Hood.
Back to the Future.
And then there's Lep Origins.
Oh my God.
And wait, one more. Leprechaun Returns. Thank you. I mean.
Is Jennifer Aniston in all of them?
Nope.
Her love interest was, who knows who he was.
He was Mullet Boy.
Yeah, it was fluffy.
His hair and the little boy's hair. I mean, talk about couple of moppets. Very long hair. Hi, Ned. Ned's weighing in. He's like, I don't have long hair. Anyway, I thought that was great. I thought you were stroking my leg and you let me. That's what Mullet said. Anywho.
Ew.
Basically, all those movies are all about, well, I guess what leprechauns are about.
Yeah.
You know, that there's consequence to being too greedy.
But then this one, I think, there's like, I don't think they're this evil. They are, but it seems like this one's crossed some lines.
And how come he's also a shoemaker?
Because that's what leprechauns are. That's what leprechauns are. They're shoemakers.
They are always shoemakers?
Sure.
I thought elves were shoemakers, and I only know that from the brownies. The brownies, Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
The elf and the Is that not brownies?
I don't remember.
Wait. Oh, okay. It's a fable. It's a fable called The Elves and the Shoemaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they come at night and do up all his shoes.
So they're leprechauns.
They could be elves. I think they are equal opportunity.
Yeah. I mean,
shoemakers.
Maybe elves, fairies, sprites, leppies, and the witches of Eastwick. Not the same critter. I couldn't think of another one. Sprites. But I will be calling them leps.
Leps.
Yeah, leps. What do you think? What do you think, Ned? Boopity-doo.
Yeah, it was. Do people need to watch it?
Heck yeah!
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Again, if you need something to have on while you're folding your towels, this would be okay.
If I saw it when I was a kid, I would probably still be having nightmares.
True.
To this day.
Don't show it to your kids, maybe. Although kids are different now.
There were some movie boxes that gave me nightmares. Do you remember the one with there was a little monster and its head is coming out of the toilet?
No.
I don't remember what it was called, but I can close my eyes and try to sleep and only see that.
Oh my gosh.
And then this one, he's scary looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like a troll. There's another critter.
At least they're slow.
Do people in Ireland celebrate St. Patrick's Day in any way similar to the way us Midwesterners celebrate?
No, I think they just drink a lot.
Oh, okay. Do they put
they don't
green
die.
dye in?
No, it pisses them off. Don't even bring it up.
Oh, and speaking of that, the kryptonite for the leprechaun ended up being an invention of the writer that if a 4-leaf clover would just absolutely incapacitate.
Right. The 4-leaf clover was when they found him in the crate got jostled and the 4-leaf clover fell off the crate. So they'd put the clover on the crate. Original owners of the house. And he had somehow gone to Ireland and gotten this guy's gold. And then that's how he came to the United States. The leprechaun came to following this guy. So
why not tape that? Tape it down. Put it in one of those tiny little baggies.
And tape it down.
I don't know. And then later they said it had to be touching his body.
Oh, well, it was on top of the crate.
It's just like
they shot it into his mouth at the end.
With gum. Oh, that was so wild. Ooh, it was disgusting. And then he really did come back out of the well, so he didn't really die.
Ugh.
Or he fell back down. I don't remember, but it paved the way for these 8 more sequels.
Oh, yeah. You're left hanging.
Yep. And I'm going to say if Warwick Davis didn't like playing the leprechaun, he wouldn't have kept doing it.
No, I don't think he needed to.
No. What a hoot. I've talked about this before. It might be fun to run around acting like, a completely horrible person.
Yeah.
Acting. Quote.
I am acting.
No, but you know what I mean. Like be a villain when you're used to being a good guy.
Yes.
Kitty.
He keeps poking his head over around the door and then going back and then poking it around.
Honestly, I did not think I was gonna have to edit him out, but I might have to try.
Oh. Let him sing. Let him sing for us.
I can sing.
Wasn't he good? But yeah, Leprechaun. I will say about the pub one, I watched it when it kind of came out. It was on streaming services or whatever. And then I watched it again and it wasn't, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Very well. Because I was thinking there were pubs in it that I'd actually been to. And there weren't.
Oh,
none.
Okay.
And they kept going back to some of the same places over and over.
At the end, when they show the credits, I thought for a second, I'm going to jot down the ones that they talked about. But the list was so long.
It was. And it's like, I don't remember that many being in there.
It's super interesting, though. If I ever went, I would want to visit some of these, been there for 100 and 200 and however many hundreds of years, because that place it's older than our country.
And a lot of times they'll have a little dog.
Oh, a little pup
Jack
dog.
Russell or something.
I'll take it.
And then you want to take it. No, they're tough. They won't go. You're like, no, this is my pub. Leave.
I hear that. Well, anyway.
But yeah.
I say we regroup for specifically for next St. Patrick's Day. Because I want to do In the Hood and Back to the Hood.
Are they both Warwick Davis?
That I'm not sure. And I think possibly no, but more to follow.
Yeah. More news at 11.
More news at 11. That's all I got. I say it was a hoot.
Yeah, it was.
I put it off for quite a while because I'm like, it's going to be gross and scary and bloody and gory. Meh. It was amusing.
It was kind of those things, but it wasn't that. I mean, I did look away a couple of times because when he had blood in his teeth, I couldn't handle it.
Ugh, his teeth were nasty.
Yeah, his teeth were gross.
And besides that, now that we're coming upon St. Patrick's Day, I'll bet you we'll see a whole bunch of offerings on
more will
Netflix.
come
Hulu.
on.
Yeah, it'll be like, but it, maybe not. It isn't one of those holidays, so we shall see.
I don't know. There's always the Commitments to fall back on.
I love the Commitments.
I love that movie. What was it about now? I don't know.
Was the Full Monty Irish or English?
No, they were Northern England.
Okay. Leprechaun.
Leeds, maybe. I don't remember.
All right.
And Commitments are Northern England or Northern Ireland. God, Northern Ireland, which is kind of Ireland, but kind of not. So.
Oh, well, the knock at the door says.
Oh, that was a knock at the door?
There's a knock at the door.
Oh, no. Were we too loud?
No. We have flicked our beans enough for one day, I
There's
think.
been some definite something.
All right.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.